Recruiter here, the Headless Headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first is a full-stack software engineer. This person stated, I'm in the wrong thing, that they have it takes them over 150 applications to get a single interview, which is obviously pretty bad. That's the ratio. The ratio is how you determine how good your resume is. 150 applications or more to a single interview is terrible. 10 applications to a single interview is amazing. So, this person stated, I do try to optimize a few of my keywords, which are missing in the job description, but not able to get any full-time job callbacks, just contract or W-2. Would love to hear some suggestions, and one more thing, I do require a sponsorship. Okay, so, as you are on a sponsorship, you will need to apply to about 3 times as many. That's unfortunately the truth. If a U.S. citizen or green card holder was applying and they had a ratio of 1 in 20, your ratio would probably be 1 in 60. So, again, you're just going to have to, unfortunately, try harder. That is the sad part about being an international. And what we're looking for, and I did a meet or yeet of this resume where I try to find these qualifications, which are not keywords, these are qualifications. And when everybody know this, recruiters don't ever call these keywords. At no point do recruiters be like, hey man, have you seen those great keywords? No, we don't. They're qualifications. We get these from the hiring manager. If you don't have the qualifications, we can't move you forward. So try not to use the word keywords, even though my template does use it and I need to change it because it's confusing people. But anyway, what we're looking for in a full stack software engineer is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java. You don't have to have all of them, just one of them. Bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. Couldn't do it in one breath. So I could not find those. And part of this problem is the formatting. The reason your formatting is important is not because recruiters are artists who want to see a beautiful piece of paper. It's because we have 20 seconds to find what we need. That's all the time we have. It's not like they set a time limit, but based on the fact that recruiters have on average 35 to 75 open positions at a single time. If you spend more than 20 seconds on a singular application for a candidate, you will get behind in your other acquisitions and get fired. So a better format is easier to read, not looks pretty. You want easier to read. The easier it is to read, the farther down in your resume I can go to find what I need. So in this case, this doesn't count. Again, so does this. Stop doing this. So none of this counts, right? The only reason you want a summary, which in this case there actually is a reason, is if you're relocating to a different area because they want to know that, because relocating can be a yellow to red flag. If you are switching industries, and I mean like if you're a doctor who's becoming an HVAC mechanic, that type of industry switch, or, and this is the one that actually applies, you are on a visa. Recruiters probably don't know, nor hiring managers know, that we can work with more visas. So you're going to have to explain how we can work with your visa very simply in a quick sentence. Just say like, as I am on an X visa, all you need to do is X and Y, which I can work for X and Y, because they may not know. And that is another reason you're getting callbacks for like contract and not W-2 and stuff, is because it's just tougher. It's just tougher to actually get those interviews. Is not a lot of companies are willing to sponsor. So this can be deleted because, again, technical skill sections don't count. Professional summaries, unless those are the 3 I mentioned, don't count. Then we get down to your actual experience. This is bolded, and that's good. This should not have the underline under it, and this should not be bolded. Nothing here should be bolded. I think I only got down to this in your resume, and I actually missed the AWS. I legitimately missed the AWS, which is something I would be looking for, because all of your bolding made my eyes jump around in the 20 seconds I had. So that is why bolding this is bad. Your resume should look like this. This is peak resume. I swear to you. This is what the kids call, I don't know what the kids call it. I'm not popular and never have been. This is what recruiters like. This is what we want. It is basic, it is boring, it is easy to read. I could probably read all the way down to here and get enough information to move you forward. So, nothing bolded. Stop bolding everything. Everybody bolds everything. It makes it harder to read, and you literally saw it. You have AWS twice, 3 times in this, and I missed all of them because of the bolding. Then the actual sentences themselves are okay-ish. Truthfully, they're not terrible. You need a little bit more of the qualifications, but they're not terrible. Like developed and deployed Python, good. Flask, fast API, maybe they want, probably not. Microservices on AWS, great, which again I missed. To handle X, I don't care about. Then you have React again. Like, you need more, right? Like, if you're a full stack, your very first bullet point needs to include TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. I want to see created or developed or deployed a full stack, and then TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML in AWS, which did X and Y. That is how you need to do it. That is the very first thing you need to have. You can add Python in there as well, but like, you need the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Absolutely. And then I am missing SQL. Did I find SQL? Again, can't use it there, can't use it there, can't use it there. There's no SQL in your resume. Agile, you may not have Agile. There it is, all the way at the bottom. Nobody can see it. It's all the way down here. No one's getting that far down in your resume. Cross-functionally, not as huge. So CI/CD, again, no, I don't see it, because again, doesn't count that it's up here. Is it anywhere else? There it is, all the way down here. No one's going to get that far down in your resume because of your formatting. RESTful APIs. Nope, nowhere in your resume. Again, doesn't count if it's here. So this person has a multitude of problems. In addition, I don't know when they're applying. So people get confused about what ATSs do and blah, 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 AI, all that stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not common. All right. While those things do exist, while scanning AIs and whatever do exist in ATSs, they are rare. They are actually very rare for not just that, because people have to pay to implement them. They have to have somebody that can actually like organize them correctly, and the recruiters have to use them right. So typically what happens is a system can use it, but the company opts to not because it's more expensive, or it's customized wrong, and guess what happens? The recruiters don't use it, so they go manually. So how ATSs actually sort you is first come, first serve. So if you are candidate number 137 and we find enough people at 110, you will not be seen. That is how that works. Because remember, we don't just have this one role. We have 34 to 74 other roles. We cannot take that much time. So we just find the first X amount of candidates, send them forward. If the manager needs more, we then go further down the list. But if you are applying late before the first 100, you probably won't be seen. Unless the role is reposted. If it's reposted, it's usually a fresh start. So, to summarize of all the things that is wrong with this resume, which there is quite a bit, it is formatting. It is the bullet points themselves barely tell me what I need. It is the fact that you don't tell me how I can work with your visa, because again, an OPT is different than a H-1B, is different than a TN visa. They're all very different, and I don't know how to work with yours. And fourth is, I'm assuming maybe you're applying too late. I don't fully know, but based on the statement that you are customizing for each job description, that is probably putting you too far behind. So, that is all I can do for this resume, but the next resume, and before we go to the next resume, I just want to thank you all for watching. Could not do this without you. I appreciate any likes, comments, subscribes, shares, all that stuff. It helps me out a lot, and if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST, and let's go at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, where I find these qualifications, and I give you more help than is just resume reviews, like interview tips. So let's go to the next resume. This is another full stack software engineer. I don't know their ratio. All they sent is this, but they are in chat. So after this, I can help them out more. And let's see if I can't find the full stack stuff in 20 seconds, which has not changed. So let's begin. All right. I don't know who that is. That doesn't, the view is good. Enzyme is a Q. I don't know what that is. Little everything. Okay, Python is fine. AWS, Lambda. It's actually not terrible. React to early machine learning could be there. And Ruby, and that's it. Okay, so there's not a ton here, and that is a bit of a problem. So this resume assumes they know what Elixir Phoenix project is. The problem is, I don't know if they do. I don't know if this would be specifically a like Elixir or Phoenix dev. I personally have only heard of Elixir like once, and I don't know. So I actually like what you did here is you say what it is. I think this is actually pretty solid. Enzyme is a QMS platform. I like that because I don't know what QMS is, but maybe the recruiter themselves would know if it's in the right industry. And despite what people may think, this also is not a bad sentence. This is actually an okay sentence. Like, would I rephrase it? Yes, but this is close to how I would have that written. Now, this is a definite yeet because I did not find like anything I needed, but this is how you would write it. So first off, fix your formatting. Every single thing here needs to have a minimum of 3 bullet points. Second, anytime you include a date on your resume under your work history, besides a project, so basically for an internship or work experience, not project, only these two, you need the months. Because this right here, this could be 2 months. That's it. You've only done it for 2 months in 2023. Or it could have been you started in January to February to December. We don't know. No, you don't tell us. Same with this. Did you start in January or did you start in December? Because that is a world of difference. That's almost a full years of experience difference. Same with this. This entire resume could show you only have 1.5 years or you have 5 years. I don't know. Oh, this is from 2014. Yeah. Now, it's also possible you're doing specifically Ruby on Rails stuff, which I will be honest with you, I haven't seen enough Ruby on Rails devs. I don't know those qualifications by heart. I may have to search for specifically Ruby on Rails stuff. So maybe Elixir and Phoenix is good for Ruby on Rails. The problem is you stated full stack. And for full stack, this is what I'm looking for in the United States. So normally I would say redo everything, but I like how you wrote this. Again, I would, instead of say I did a little of everything, you can just say developed or did X, Phoenix, React, Lambda products to early machine learning pipelines and adjust it. So we need to fix the formatting. We need to make sure you're applying for the right jobs instead of just full stack. And wait, where's your education? It's possible you are a self-taught dev. That is okay. But if you did graduate, I would need to see it. So that's all I can do for this one. And now they're in chat, so I'm going to help them out even more. But for everybody else, let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a product designer. So this person says it takes them over 250 applications to get a single interview, if not no interviews, and their total loss as to what is wrong. That's why I'm here to help. Just changed my resume from 2 columns to the Harvard single column layout. Please never use two columns in your resume. Please never do that. It makes it so much worse. So that make a difference, but I'm pessimistic about my chances. So there are a couple of reasons that you could not be getting an interview, which I kind of covered in the first video of this series. So again, you need to apply early. The faster you apply to a job, the better your chances. And again, also, please make sure your phone number is correct. I have seen some phenomenal resumes that I've tried to reach out to, and their phone number went directly to voicemail, and that voicemail was full, and I tried emailing them, and it bounced, and then I could not contact that candidate. So, what we're looking for in a product designer is degree, GED, industry. Basically, do you have a degree or GED? That's, whichever is nice. And then the industry is going to matter. So, like, are you in healthcare? Are you in software? That kind of stuff. Then, did you handle the product from start to finish? Research, UI, UX, product metrics, A/B testing, user behavior analysis, Figma, Sketch, Illustrator, Photoshop, After Effects, cross-functional stakeholders, web, mobile, desktop, B2B, graphic design, SaaS, and articulate product ideas and design choices clearly to both technical and non-technical audiences. Do you need all of those? No, you need about 75% of them. Honestly, you probably only need about 65% of them based on the stuff that I saw. So let's see, can I find those in 20 seconds? And away I go. This doesn't matter. I do not need that. Qualitative and quantitative. But it does mention research, which is good. Wireframing, again, could be. I don't know about that. Progress That's actually good. Research agentic design patterns. Again, I'm not necessarily looking for that. And that's all. So, no, I did not find enough. Mainly because it's kind of hard to read. So first off, use my format, please. The link should be in the description below. It's on my website. You just have to go to the very top, do resume guide, follow that. It is the best resume I swear you'll ever need. But a bigger problem with this is your bullet points just don't have enough. So if you noticed, I really only found about 2 to 3 things down to here. Conductive, qualitative, and quantitative research is great, but I also need stuff like Figma. In fact, can I even find that? Figma, no, there's no Figma. Can I find UI? No, I don't see UI. There's no UI, at least in the first page. What about UX? No. What about product metrics? No, I don't. What about B2B? Nope. Okay, so I do like this sentence. I think it's okay. The problem is you can't just have 2 to 3 qualifications in your first 2 lines. I need about 4 or 5. So conducted research is what I think you should just say, because again, I don't know if a lot of them are actually stating wireframing directly or qualitative and quantitative. They're just looking for research. Conducted research, right? Did product metrics and whatever, and used Photoshop. But I think a bigger issue is I don't know what you did. I assume you do AI agentic stuff, but that's all I know. That's the only thing I know. I need a quick summary that says, like, as in charge of X, I did Y. And then you put this stuff in. And again, did you handle it from start to finish? Did you do A/B testing? Did you use Figma? And then here, which is apprised executives. Again, I like the fact that you kept them up to date. So this is okay, but I still need more, right? Like, did you use Figma to create little documents for them? Did you explain to them not technical stuff? Because you did say you met with them, but you didn't say you explained technical stuff to them. So already in this, you already have a couple of problems. I just don't have enough. So it's not necessarily your format, it's the fact that you don't have enough of this. And again, I don't need all of it. I need about, for you particularly because of how product design works, probably 65% instead of 75%. But I only found like, I don't know math, like 3 or 4 of those things, which is not adding up to 65. So your big problem is there's just not enough, and these are very dense. Again, instead of just qualitative and quantitative and wireframing, just put conducted research, right? A/B testing, that kind of stuff, because there's a lot you need to fit in, and they may not know it. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a software engineer intern. This person has taken 100 applications to get a single interview, which is not great. Hopefully we'll lower that. And they are an international student, but and here's the part where my lack of knowledge of international visa stuff is, I don't know how much being an international student affects your chances at getting an internship. I imagine it lowers it, but I don't know by how much. So I'd actually like to know in the comments, if anybody knows that answer, how that works, because that's not something I've really dealt with before. But for a regular intern, what we're looking for is usually pretty simple. Just your degree, basic knowledge of tech stack. So again, language, library, SQL, cloud, maybe a little bit of AI, ability to work well with others, and takes direction and criticism. Can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's go for a quick meter yeet. Again, this doesn't count. This is hard to read. I hate, oh my god, my eyes. Okay, Django is good. API is good. RAG, maybe, but I don't really care. And data, my eyes are skipping. Oh my gosh. Okay. Exploratory data. No, I'm not looking for that. Okay, I don't see anything. That's it. So this would definitely be a yeet. Now, could I have missed stuff? Yeah, probably, because this formatting is awful. So please use your formatting like this, I beg you. And if you don't use my formatting, okay, that's fine. But for the love of all that is holy, stop bolding everything. You know what happened? My eyes went to here, then they bounced to here, which skipped over here. Then I tried to read this, and then it skipped down to 80%, and then it went back up to RAG, and then I had to refocus and look in. I review these in volume. Bolding makes it worse. Stop bolding. Stop bolding. Please stop bolding. I'm begging you to stop bolding. But a bigger problem besides just the bolding, and that is a big problem, is you don't really show the qualifications here. So Django, good. That's pretty good. But I also want to see Python. Like, just say, like, built a Python Django backend with machine learning RAG architecture or whatever. That's what I'm looking for. But I don't care about this 80% or 200 plus daily client requests. I don't know what that means or how it's relevant. Exploratory data, again, not really. This one's almost okay. Lead rotor balancing, I don't care about that. Achieved accuracy, I'm not looking for that. Then NLP they may want along with SQL. But yeah, like, so here's the thing. You're too deep in the technical stuff. There's a reason I say basic in that. I am not looking for deep, amazing, crazy stuff for bachelors. Masters and PhDs, maybe. But for bachelors, it's basic. I'm talking like just Python, Django, Docker, SQL, AWS. That's like what I'm looking for. Then it may be like AI, RAG, and LangChain or something, right? That's it. That's all I'm looking for that. This is way too technical. And you have way too many percentages and numbers. Please stop doing all of those. I need it to be simpler for both the hiring manager and myself. And then what I also need is to show how you worked with other people. I almost found it here, but it wasn't quite enough. I need you to state how you worked well with other people and how you take direction and criticism, because that's important. This may be your first corporate job, and they need to know that you're not going to have a crash out, because that is seriously can happen. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a healthcare data analyst. So they are trying to switch to data analyst to healthcare data analyst. So this is specifically for healthcare. There were only a couple of differences, which was HL7 and FHIR, along with like medical stuff, and EHR, so like Epic, Cerner, and Meditech. No, I do not know what those are, but they were in the job description. So basically, mostly the same. We're going to need SQL, data visualization, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical people, how you solve problems with data, not what the data is, the industry, which in this case I don't need to put on because that is in fact healthcare, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, Word. Yes, I saw job descriptions that stated VLOOKUPs, and Python and R. Whew, so that's a lot. Do you need all of those? No, but you need most of them. So let's see. This person is their third or fourth go around, and they are international. So again, they have a little bit of a harder time, but let's see if I can't find it in 20 seconds. And go. Python, good. Excel, macros, good. Whatever that is, but still good. Power BI, good. AWS, good. Did I actually need cloud? Whatever. I don't know about that one. SQL, good. I don't know if that's needed. Good. Good. I actually really like that one. HIPAA. Okay, so we're out of time. I like it. I'm not sure. Yeah, cloud is a bonus. I'm not sure I need the KPIs. I'm not sure I need EDI in this. But some of this stuff was good. Could I move this forward? Probably. I think this has mostly enough. A big issue would be if they're not able to get all far down, because I think we need to sort of shrink this. So used Python, Excel, and macros good to analyze insurance record, implementing, again, HL7 rules. I have a hair in my mouth. Sorry. To reduce claim rejections and improve first pass approval rates. Great. I don't know if I need saving $200K in costs. Again, is that impressive? I don't know, because I'm not the recruiter for this one. If this was a smaller shop, maybe that's impressive. If this was a larger one, maybe that's not good enough. So I would remove possibly this, besides just saving costs, right? Which save costs. That's fine. This was good. I actually really, really like this part. I don't know if I need enabling faster access to critical reimbursement. You could just end it here. Again, you kind of like add a bunch of stuff that I don't necessarily need. But like, this is a fine sentence. I don't know if I need the rest of it. And then optimize. I just say right, created, right? Don't just say optimized or whatever. SQL queries to improve EDI, which again, I don't know if I need. Transaction reporting and dashboard times. This one is kind of a junk sentence. I do like, obviously you need SQL, but the rest of it I don't really need. And then served as the subject matter expert. You know what? I know I'm going to go back and forth on this one. I think you can just say as the subject matter expert on 3. So you only need this. You don't need the actual acronym, especially if you don't use it anywhere else. No, yeah. So you can just say served as the subject matter expert on 3 cross-functional projects using MS Visio and project leading requirements workshops, meeting 100% of the deadlines in Accelerator system. This is great. I actually really like this. This is an okay use of percentages and things. I love this one. This should be higher. This should be your second bullet point. So that's phenomenal. I actually really like this. They're going to love that. Conducted, everything should be past tense. HIPAA, that isn't on there, but it is something they were looking for. I should have wrote that down. So HIPAA is good. The rest of this, I don't know if I need. And again, the rest of this, I don't know if I need. The JIRA is, but I don't know if I need the rest. So it's less technical than it was before, which is good, but it's still a little bit too technical. But you have much more of what they're looking for. So I think that's pretty good. Beyond that, I don't know if there's anything else I can offer. Just again, make it slightly easier. Be cautious because this is a good use of numbers. This is not. This is not. This is great though, and again, should be higher up. So that's all I can do for this one. Again, I think it's pretty solid. Yeah, just need to shrink it a little bit, and you should be getting some more interviews as long as you're applying early. I want you have the best shot you can, and I know it's real brutal right now. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a machine learning engineer, and they apparently have a terrible ratio, although I don't know what it is. They just said they're applying to anything they see, which kind of fits in your resume. Do not do that. That is a way to get a lot of rejections. And please tell me the truth about the self-taught about section I have. Should I remove it or not? So what we're looking for in a machine learning engineer specifically, not necessarily an AI engineer. Again, a machine learning engineer can be an AI engineer, but an AI engineer doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a machine learning engineer. It could be agentic or an NLP or all that stuff. Is degree, machine learning, models, other stuff of AI like LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, cloud, SQL. You don't need all of that, just SQL and then one of the others, and cloud. So cloud, SQL, and then either Python or R or C++. Then TensorFlow, PyTorch, SkibbityLearn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, RAG, customer-facing stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert. Can you actually talk to people? And a bonus is CAD, FEA, Git, CI/CD, finite element analysis, and API. Whew. Okay, so can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Good. All right, again, don't care, not relevant. Built a PyTorch, good. Python, good. Don't know what the rest of this means. Don't know what this means. SkibbityLearn is great. Don't know what that is. Again, all right. Engineered a hybrid frog. Okay, done. No, I did not find enough. So, should you keep this section? No, but it's not because it says self-taught. It's because summary sections don't matter unless you meet one of those 3 criteria. So I would delete the summary section because it's just not needed. And let's see, you are self-taught. All right, yeah, so you should, in fact, keep your projects and stuff at the bottom. Boy. But a big problem with this is I don't find what I need, right? Like, I found 3 things. That's okay. I found PyTorch. I found Python. and I found the word AI, but not generative AI. And I found Skibbity Learn. That's 3 things. But like, if you look, I'm not looking for 3 things. In fact, I don't see any of it down here either. Like, you got way too technical with what they're looking for. Remember, the people that are hiring you for this role probably don't know the difference between LLM and NLP. They may not. You could be hired as the subject matter expert. You are the one to describe why this is important, and you kind of already failed to do that because I don't know what you did. I don't know what a med synthesis privacy perverting generator is. You did not explain it. No, and again, even if they know what it is, remember, they've probably been looking at resumes for the last hour and their eyes are tired. So don't go this hard. Will it be more difficult because you don't have a degree? Yes. Yes, it will. But it's probably possible. But you need to describe the stuff they're actually looking for. Because remember, this is what they're looking for. I don't see how you can talk to customers. I don't see how you can talk to stakeholders. I don't see why you're the subject matter expert. I don't see SQL. I don't see any cloud. I don't see LLM or NLP or generative AI. I don't even see the word machine learning. In fact, do I see machine learning? No. You have it twice in your resume. Maybe you have ML. Do you have ML? Once. Nope, you don't. Yeah, you don't know. You do know. They don't know that you know. That's what I should have said. So, you made this way too technical. I'm going to need some additional stuff. Again, you don't need the bonus section, but I need the rest of this. And I can't just find 3 because they're going to reject you, especially because you are, in fact, self-taught. You need to do a little bit more because usually they're going to ask for more experience. So I need you to explain to me what you did because I don't know. I don't know what a schema-agnostic synthetic EHR generator that prefers statistical distributions while enabling AI without exposing patient data. I don't know. I assume it's healthcare related, but I don't know why you would use that. So that's really all I can do for this is you went way too technical. Again, I know you're smart, right? Even without a degree, I'm sure you're heads and tails smarter than me. But it doesn't matter. It matters that you can explain that stuff here. So be simple in your explanations. Be very, 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 very high overview. Not all this deep in the weeds stuff. They just want to know, can you use Python? Can you use Panda? Can you do all that kind of stuff? So that's about all I can do for this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. If anybody else needs help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to whenever PST. And, I look forward to seeing you in the next video where I help you get ahead of your job search.